The biggest prize in two-wheeled motorsport is on the line in Malaysia. It is match point Pecco here at Sepang. Jorge Martin is on pole position ahead of Bastianini and Marc Marquez, but the title battle will rage on from row 3 backwards. Pecco Bagnaia chasing the title from Alicia Spargaro, desperately seeking to keep his hopes alive from 10, and can Fabio Quartararo ensure that the race to keep his crest
as well? Is that going to throw in a decisive curveball, as Davide Tardot said on the grid? Maybe some rain to fall in the next 40 minutes or so. The warm-up lap then underway 20 years ago. Le Mans, she minds back to a classic in Mazzano, also the Motul and Aragon race. Inside the head right now of the number 23 in there, Bastianini, because it looks like if he can make the move clean. He's gone through. There was a consultation there, wasn't there, between Davide Tardozzi and Paolo Ciabatti, and the beast has gone through the non-Bagnaia up the hill in sheets now. Bagnaia's advancing the championship down to 18 points.
So what does Bagnaia do now then? He'll know that Fabio Quartararo is 3 seconds
going for it.
Oh, he had a look into
move into turn 4 on lap number 11. We thought it was coming, we didn't think it was going to be that soon, but he picks the inside line up. There'll be some really nervous, anxious faces down in Ducati. We know now Bastianini is great in the second half of the race. That's going to come into phase.
3/4 of a second, a 2:00.5 for Quartararo. Bezzecchi was 3/10 faster than him. Tantalising Ducati.
Will there be instructions here to help Pecco Bagnaia capture the World Championship here? They don't want any tension, any more nail biting, do they? Any more potential drama? And he wants the job done here today. Bastianini, though it is, that's now put sort of 6 or 7 bike lengths between himself and his future teammate. The World Championship at stake here.
Yeah, he's chasing a 5th win of the season. Of course, his last win in Aragon was in a head-to-head shootout with Pecco Bagnaia. Quartararo's lead over Bezzecchi.
Fabio Quartararo is fighting tooth and nail, pushing off, and that factory Yamaha beyond the limit, surely, as Clay gripping and engrossing and enthralling Malaysian Grand Prix. They are going to call this one.
Well, surely the call has to be, if Bezzecchi goes past Fabio Quartararo into 3rd place, then surely it's common sense.
Matters with Gigi Dell'Igna. This is the prize that Ducati have so desperately craved for 5th side. Let Pecco Bagnaia ease on through to take the victory in this Malaysian Grand Prix. His rear tyre snakes sideways, looks into the first corner. He's pushing really hard, isn't he, to try and keep here on 14 in Malaysia.
Oh, he was having a look at the inside there into turn 4. There's a argument to this as well. Really, Ducati need to nip this in the bud. If they will let Bagnaia through, they can't let this linger. Look how close they're getting.
Yeah, Bagnaia almost the back of an air Bastianini there, going through turn 7. Are we about to get the signal? Our team order's going to play a key factor at the end of this Malaysian Grand Prix. It's still Gini for Bagnaia.
Out of their hands.
Here he goes on the inside of Bastianini, then into the corner, and Bagnaia does retake the lead. Brilliant move that then by the XF turn 15. He can. 6 laps remaining then here in Malaysia. Pecco Bagnaia back at the front. The ultimate prize in motorcycle racing up for grabs here for Quartararo, clinging on to
10th out of them on this lap, as Ducati are trying to manage some synchronous swimming in these final 6 laps of the Grand Prix. Fabio Quartararo is catching them. He started this lap
by the current world champion Fabio Quartararo. Absolutely awesome job by him. He's had to fight the race final round showdown in Valencia in a couple of weeks' time. Over the line, Quartararo was 1.6 seconds behind Bastianini. He was 3rd place. If he slips behind Bezzecchi, it is over in the championship.
The tension is palpable. 5 laps in this. He is going to have to fight tooth and nail for this, and you just know that Marco Bezzecchi is on the absolute limit, trying to go with Quartararo.
In on the top 2 men here, Fabio Quartararo. He's got a chance to win this Grand Prix, no question. Through turn 10, usually can gap to Enea Bastianini in second place. Let's just trudge in through. He took half a second out of Motogp Malaysia. Looks like he's running into a few leg grip problems here, Malaysia. He's put up a great charge to try and won a performance by the world champion right now. Lap 17 underway here in Malaysia. Bagnaia.
Quartararo, as you can see there on screen, get 10th of a second on Bastianini, 10th and a half on Bagnaia. That's not if he catches them at that rate. He won't get there if he goes in 5th position ahead of Mark Markins. Happened to Joan Mir recently because he slips all the way back.
Themselves in the hunt, vying for glory in Valencia. A disappeared out of Trace, aren't they? It has not been an end of the season to remember for right now. We can discount him from the title equation going to Valencia. We can discount an Bastianini as well as it stands right now. Although crucially, the beast will
sort of around that sort of half-second margin behind Bagnaia, so much so that he's not putting Bagnaia under pressure that he's fearing an overtake, but also protecting.
Then, as we mentioned, it's been a very, very tough flyweight for the Spanish rider. We thought he was firmly back in contention. He was too far for the factory Aprilia team. So much for them to be proud of, though, in a break 2022 for Alex Spargo and the factory RSGP. 3 laps to go, though. His fingernails. 3rd place will be enough to keep the championship going.
At this stage of the Grand Prix, we could see some riders running into tyre troubles in the 201s now. He's lost grip with Fabio Quartararo. Joan Mir has now crashed out of this Grand Prix. He was back in the 204s on the lap of the Grand Prix, and he's now crashed.
The Mir on your screens crashing out in the factory Suzuki. And yeah, I can't relax, can he? Because you're not quite sure from the outside here what he is going to do. Les Mir has remounted, and after his tip off, yes, that was in the first corner, wasn't it? 2.5 laps to go though here in Sepang. 22 here in Malaysia, but it will not be enough to clinch.
Ultimately, Quartararo did not make the progress at the same rate early on in that Grand Prix. He has made it through 3rd place, but his lead is minimal over Bastianini. It's 4/10 of a second. Quartararo was faster than the 2 ahead of him, but he is still tantalising.
Got a set great platform as well for Quartararo. They come from 12th to 5th. It got him in the podium game right from the get-go. Simple as you like. Then Fabio Quartararo will have to win.
The best he can do is 3rd. So important now that Quartararo doesn't make a mistake. Throw it at the scenery. That would hand the World Championship to Bagnaia today.
Season. I don't think it's going to be quite as cordial as Bagnaia's relationship with Jack Miller, that's for sure. Now then, Enea Bastianini, what? 0.5 kilometres remaining here in the Petronas Grand Prix Malaysia in 2022. Pecco Bagnaia on course for a priceless victory. No, Bastianini's not going to go through. I was just hesitant there thinking, he's not going to go up the inside, surely in a turn 4. No, he doesn't.
Well, he did.
Have anybody inside the category got any fingernails left right now? Enea Bastianini just 9. Hard on the brakes of them. They both stay sideways, and Bastianini, a little bit like he done the last Mazzano, almost. Davide Tardozzi's heart rate has gone off the hill right now as Bagnaia then drops down the hill through turns 12 and 13. It looks like
have to be alongside Bagnaia to make a move from here. Bagnaia just has 15 to go for a huge...
But the World Championship will run into Valencia in 2 World Champions right from the champion. Despite the pain of that broken middle finger on his left, it's over for Fabio Quartararo in the World Championship.